Hi everyone, and welcome to our special film about mixed methods research designs. In this film, you are going to learn everything about the several ways in which you can combine both data collection and analysis methods for your research project, or about the mixed method approach. Earlier on in the research tradition, researchers were compelled to choose between either a more quantitative approach, more objective, or between a qualitative approach and more subjective. And this had, of course, serious implications for their design and the instruments that they were going to use. Nowadays, things have changed. The mixed methods approach has come of age, and this means that you are no longer forced to choose between the one or the other. Actually, most research nowadays lies somewhere in a continuum between the two. Researchers using a mixed methods approach are actually pragmatics. They are concerned about doing the job in the best possible way. This is, of course, radically different than having to choose between a quantitative and a qualitative approach. But what exactly are mixed methods? John Creswell has described 6 main features of mixed methods. First of all, you collect both quantitative and qualitative data. Then, of course, you analyze both data sources. And for this, you have to use rigorous procedures for each one. Next, you have to integrate both data sources, and you can do this concurrently or sequentially. And last, this method has a sort of a philosophical foundation that says, let's do what is best to answer the research question. So basically, you can either converge data, combine data, or embed data. And this, of course, leads to different mixed methods research designs. Typically, you can choose between a concurrent or a sequential research design. Let's look at each one. Sequential procedures have a particular order, one after the other. So, for example, you can start by interviewing a handful of people to find out what is going on. Then you analyze the data of your interviews and you use it to develop a survey that you apply to a larger population group. And this will allow you to generalize your initial findings of the interviews to a larger population group. Or you can start with a quantitative method, such as a survey, for a large population group. And based on the results of the analysis of your survey, you can use focus groups as a follow-up to get more specific information. Concurrent procedures run alongside each other. You are collecting both quantitative and qualitative data at the same time. You will need to integrate both data types to answer your research question. But each data type has its own contribution to make. Let us now look at one strategy of the concurrent procedures, the concurrent nested strategy. In this design, again, both quantitative and qualitative data are collected alongside each other. But one approach is embedded in the other. The smaller data collection procedure is embedded in a larger data collection procedure. This is, of course, very handy when you are trying to answer a research question that addresses several levels of an organization, for example. But of course, one question remains open: why go through all this trouble? Well, quantitative data can provide a lot of generalizable information for a large group of the population, but it often fails to provide in-depth specific answers to some of the reasons and motives in your research question. Qualitative research, on the other hand, does provide in-depth and specific answers, but the information you get is not always generalizable for a larger group of the population, although it does give you a good indication of what is going on. So, both methods have weaknesses and strengths. If they are used complementary, they can only strengthen each other. In this film, we have discussed the ways in which you can enrich your project by mixing methods. So I would say, go ahead and mix away.